Hello YouTube and people of the interwebs, welcome back to another Doctor Who news video. Today we're going to be discussing this leak, which is currently blurred because if you don't want spoilers, you can still stick around. Any form of spoilers, I will be giving you a warning. Around 12 o'clock today, I was just scrolling through Twitter while eating my lunch, as you do, and everywhere I looked were Doctor Who fans going, "Have you seen the leak? Have you seen the news?" Here are my thoughts on the Doctor Who leak. So I thought, why not give my take? Now I will admit I didn't find it easily. I had a look on Gallifrey Base, I had a look on Twitter, but Reddit came in handy and boom. Now, I will warn you before you go in search of the leak. There's certain things which are genuinely big spoilers, and they're kind of confirmed anyway, not necessarily because of this leak, but they're things that I have deliberately missed out of prior leak videos or prior discussion videos because it just spoils the plot. Anything I'm going to read from this leak today is stuff that would be officially announced. It's not going to ruin a plot twist or a surprise reveal, if that makes sense. And I'm sure there's some of you out there watching this video who, for example, know maybe hints at who the villain of Season 2 is, like the finale villain of Season 2. We're not going to discuss that directly, and please keep that discussion away from the comments section so that people don't get spoilt on the plot points. However, this leak does basically contain a synopsis for the war between the land and the sea. Now, that's if it's to be believed. Let's have a read of this leak, and then at the end of the video, I'll give you my honest thoughts and, opinions on whether we can actually trust any of this. Just gonna jump in here really quickly. If you haven't already, please do feel free to subscribe to the channel, turn on the notification bell, drop a comment, leave a like, etc. It all really helps me out and allows me to keep YouTube as my source of income. Also, stick around to the end of the video to find out spoilers. If you don't want spoilers, skip ahead 10 seconds. But the Master may be returning. You'll find out why later. Anyway, back to the video. Okay, so here are the latest leaks I've found online for Series 15 from various sites. Some rather small, some are huge, so beware. Number 1. Ruby won't be travelling with the Doctor for the majority of the season. She'll appear throughout, including in a Doctor Light episode where she will be working with UNIT. She and the Doctor will properly reunite in the finale, however. Now, this, I think, is basically confirmed anyway. I mean, whoever wrote this could just be inferring all of this. I mean, it's kind of obvious. Russell T Davies, the showrunner, has basically said as much. In the Empire of Death, the Doctor and Ruby did say goodbye to each other, but Ruby isn't going anywhere. She's sticking around. We've even seen a little preview clip of Ruby in the upcoming Season 2, so I think this makes a lot of sense. We've also seen her filming what I think is Episode 4, where UNIT are also involved, so once again, this entire paragraph could just be an inference. It makes sense. I think it's completely accurate, but whether it's a genuine leak or not, that's another question. The idea of them reuniting in the finale is maybe where it goes off a bit. When they were filming Series 2, or Season 2, Ncuti didn't, he wasn't busy on any other projects, unlike Season 1 where he was busy with the Barbie movie and Sex Education. So I don't really understand why they'd opt for a Doctor Light episode when we already had 2 last season, and in my opinion, it was incredibly damaging to, the audience getting to know the 15th Doctor. So fingers crossed that that rumour of a Doctor Light episode just is wrong. I mean, it would be kind of mental for Russell to be like, yeah, we've got Ncuti for all 8 episodes, well, we'll have him for 7 episodes. I reckon the Doctor and Ruby will see each other in Episode 4. The series will include 1 returning monster, but no Daleks or Cybermen. So this, following on from last year, it's a similar structure. We got Sutekh back, but we didn't get the classics like the Sontarans, Daleks, Cybermen. We are getting the Sea Devils and the War Between the Land and the Sea, but I'm going to count that as a separate thing, because this is talking about Season 2. Let me know in the comments what monster you think this could be. It doesn't actually say here, but it does say that Series 15 will continue to lean into fantasy, so fantasy monsters Doctor Who, what comes to mind? Let me know your thoughts in the comments. Now, the next point we basically know from filming images anyway, but episode 2 will take place in 1950s Miami with a focus on the paranormal. I think that's quite cool. Also, I think it kind of adds up. Verada Sethu's character is rumoured to be called Belinda. In fact, I don't think it's a rumour anymore. I think that's officially confirmed by Russell from Comic-Con. But, well, we know that's the case. But that is quite an American name, in my opinion. And obviously, now that you've got this Disney Plus Doctor Who deal, it does make sense, like they did with Series 6 way back in the Matt Smith era, to, if you're going to try and appeal to America, in particular, let's bring in America and Americans to the show. So maybe Verada Sethu's character will be an American, and this vibe of 1950s Miami with a focus on paranormal is pretty cool. We also know that, this is a bit of a spoiler here, so skip ahead 10 seconds if you'd like. We also know that a god is going to be in this episode because on the filming images, we've seen the Doctor and Belinda running and Harbinger appears above them. So which god that's going to be, I have no idea. Let me know your theories in the comments down below. We'll get an episode that takes place mostly in the TARDIS. This wouldn't surprise me, but I'm kind of hoping it doesn't happen. Like, Journey to the Centre of the TARDIS is, well, it's not a cinematic masterpiece. And obviously I know you can do different stories, but like, I suppose exploring that set would be nice. Going down more corridors, seeing more of it would be cool. I'm not opposed to it. I just think, yeah, do we need that when we've only got 8 episodes? It's a good sort of filler episode. Filler's the wrong word. What's it called? A bottle episode. It's a cool bottle episode, but I think, yeah, I'd like to go out the TARDIS. More adventures, more planets. Use that budget for things other than just space babies. This one, I think, is probably accurate and I'm pretty hyped for. Murray Gold wrote a new original song for a scene that takes place during a concert on an alien planet. So immediately this makes me think of like the Long Song from the Rings of Akaten. Something along those lines would be absolutely brilliant. Like, that's such an iconic piece of Doctor Who history. The Goblin song, there's always a twist. I love that we're getting more musicals. It's one of those things, I think Doctor Who needs to stay feeling fresh, and bringing this stuff in, yeah, it slaps. Really cool. This one's a minor spoiler, but also I don't really think it's a spoiler. I think it'll probably become very evident as soon as episode 1 airs, maybe even within the trailers, but Jonah Heyer-King, who is Prince Eric in Ariel, we know he's in the series, he will be playing Mrs. Flood's grandson. So yeah, this is new information. Maybe it's just a guess or an inference, but it does make a lot of sense because, yeah, if you've seen the filming images, you kind of wonder where's this guy cropped up from. He could just be a new character entirely, but him playing Mrs. Flood's grandson, the pieces start to add up. Now, this is where it gets a little bit spoilery. It talks a little bit about Mrs. Flood. I'm not going to say or read what it says, but she has a much bigger role to play in the new season, is all I'll say. I'm hyped for that. I mean, she came out at the Doctor Who at the Proms concert, which I attended, and that was so much fun. Yeah, she kind of hinted at that concert that maybe she's a little bit evil, so who knows? Let me know your theories for Mrs. Flood in the comments. Is she going to be evil, or is she going to be some sort of saviour character who we think is evil but then switches and goes, actually, I'm a lovely woman? There's another huge spoiler plot twist here, which I can't lie, I don't believe, but just in case it spoils the plot, my lips are sealed. But all I'll say is that something happens in the finale. Oh, wow, what a leak. Something happens in the finale that leads the Doctor leaving. He wants to be a bit distant from humanity. We already know that the upcoming Christmas special, Joy to the World, explores what the Doctor's like when he's alone. So maybe that theme is going to be carried over, and this season finale gives the 15th Doctor a reason to just go off. And yeah, he doesn't want to be around humans at the moment. That's what this leak is implying without me spoiling too much. Which then leads into why the Doctor is suspiciously absent from the war between the land and the sea. If he's taken a little chillax, a little break from humanity, he's not going to be around to stop the Sea Devils, and this is where the leak gets really, really interesting. I would absolutely love this to be true, but I just don't know whether I believe it. With the Doctor being out of reach during the events of the war between the land and the sea, it'll be revealed that the Master is now a prisoner of UNIT, and he will be forced to help with the Sea Devil situation, finally giving him the chance to be the hero, kind of similar to Loki. I have been begging for this for years. The Master needs a proper redemption arc. They started it with Missy, and it was so cool. I want an anti-hero. Loki is a perfect example. Yeah, that would be so cool. If the Doctor's absent, and the Master has to step in, and I mean, you've also got the ties to the original Sea Devil story, where the Master was also imprisoned. Like, it would be so fun. But I hear you cry. Who's playing the Master? If they're already filming the war between the land and the sea, who is going to take on the mantle of this iconic character? Well, has the casting actually been staring at us all? Staring at us all? We've missed that I messed that one up. The Master will be played by none other than Russell Tovey. Alonso, who we know is already, he's been on set. He's been officially announced. We don't necessarily know who he's playing, but this leak suggests it's the Master. And I think that would be superb casting. I mean, Russell said he wanted Russell T. Davies said he wanted Russell Tovey to play the 11th Doctor. That's what he'd have done if he'd continued for an extra, after David Tennant series. So the Doctor and the Master, they're one and the same. They're two sides of the same coin. It makes complete sense for Russell to cast him as the Master. But it could just be wrong. Before we discuss more of that, we'll read the final point. Gugu Mbatha Raw will be playing a scientist/activist who's siding with the Sea Devils. So maybe she's like a double agent. And obviously we know it's sort of Sea Devils versus units, Sea Devils versus humans. Maybe she's with them. But that, once again, could just be a guess. I mean, as cool as it is, don't get me wrong, I absolutely love that idea. If the Master is in, oh, no, my dreams have come true. But I just think it's unlikely. From what we've seen of filming already, Russell Tovey doesn't seem to be playing the Master at all. Rather, he's just a random guy. I think we've seen them shoot, him coming out of his house, getting changed, going to work, coming out of a unit jeep. And he's wearing, human clothes. Unless they are covering it up really well, or unless it is a plot twist that the Master is secretly this guy, which it doesn't really make sense. If they've imprisoned the Master, they've imprisoned the Master. I don't think it's going to happen, sadly. And, I mean, as fun as it would be, yeah, I think it's unlikely. I think they just want this to be its own little fun mini-series set within the whoniverse that you don't need prior knowledge of Doctor Who to watch. Especially if they're trying to appeal to American audiences. If the Master hasn't already appeared in the new era and Russell's kind of said he's on a break, who knows? But it is kind of set up. If you watch The Giggle, the Master was in that golden tooth, which is left at unit, and Hand picked it up. Could it have been Kate's hand? Perhaps. Maybe they bring the Master back and imprison him. It does add up. It could happen, but maybe the Master's here not played by Russell Tovey. Maybe you get John Sim back. Maybe you get Sasha back. Maybe you get Michelle back. Who knows? Whatever the case, let me know your thoughts and theories in the comments section down below. I thank you very much for watching this video. If you did enjoy, please do remember to like, comment, subscribe. So much new content is coming to this channel very soon, and you don't want to miss out. Goodbye.